Today we are last 30 to 40 years. Many of those devotees who used to visit this temple and participated in various religious activities, that this particular full moon day, that means May, June, July, 3 months completed after Vesak. The full moon day, the Buddha first time gave his sermon. So it is known as first sermon, Dhamma Chakra Sutra or Dharma Chakra Sutra. So tonight we are going to recite the whole sutra. The language spoken by the Buddha at that time in India. His teachings or the utterances were recorded by his disciples recorded in the Pali language first time in the history. There is no any other written record in any other language, in any part of the world. Historians agree without any controversy that the Pali Sutras are the oldest record that they have discovered. So the teachings of the Buddha recorded in the Pali language more than 2000 years ago, written down. So regarded as the basic teachings of the Buddha. Later, say about 700 to 800 years after the passing away of the Buddha, when another well-known Buddhist schools become very popular in India, they also started to write the teachings of the Buddha in Sanskrit language, but not in the Pali language. This is called Mahayana school, written in Sanskrit language. Why they wanted to record in Sanskrit? Because many of those learned disciples who were very active at that time were Brahmins, who were ordained as monks. They were scholars. So they have written, composed many of those sutras in Sanskrit, and today we introduce them as Mahayana Buddhist Sutras. Some of them are very popular, like Diamond Sutra, Lotus Sutra, Lankavatara Sutra, very famous, but originally written in Sanskrit. The Diamond Sutra means Vajra Chedika. Vajra means diamond in Sanskrit. Lotus Sutra, Saddharma Pundarika, Pundarika Saddharma, Lotus. Today you can see English, Chinese, Korean, Japanese translation of these sutras, because they are very popular in China, Korea and Japan. When you read these sutras, you can see the teachings of the Buddha, you can find in those sutras also. But beside the teachings of the Buddha, they have added so many things into these sutras, which we cannot find in the basic Pali or Theravada Buddhism. They are very beautiful and miraculous, supernatural. A lot of mythologies are there, but very useful to many devotees. Because in the name of religion, what many people need is something extraordinary. When we try to prove in normal way, there is nothing for them because they are very natural. Now the difference here, the main difference between these Theravada or Pali Sutras and Mahayana Sutra is this. In Pali and Theravada Sutras, those disciples who started to record did not wanted to add or to beautify or to incorporate so many mythologies and too much of supernatural power into the sayings of the Buddha. Very normal way they have recorded. Later when Mahayana scholars started to record, they have beautified a lot of mythologies and more stories they have incorporated into these sutras. But the teachings of the Buddha you can find in those Mahayana sutras also. So we have to define them very unbiasedly. We should not say either this one or that one is wrong or this one is correct, the other one is wrong. The teachings of the Buddha you can find in both schools without lot of exaggerations in Pali. So tonight we are going to recite this. So when you read the English translation of this Dhammacakka, you can summarize this very long sutras into one page. There may be 10 to 12 pages. But the essence of this sutra you can summarize into one page. How? The Buddha started this sermon by giving this advice. He said, when you are going to practice a religion, you should not go to extreme. That is the first advice. That means you should not suffer physically in the name of your religion, thinking that you can find out your salvation. No, very easily you can go to heaven. Buddha did not encourage you. You can lead a normal life. At the same time, you can be religious. And the other aspect is if you are going to indulge too much, you are going to waste your valuable human life. Because enjoyment are not the purpose of your life. All these enjoyment, pleasure that we appreciate today become nuisance in time to come. There will be a day that we get frustrations and disappointments. All these things today that we take as very important things in our life. By entertaining too much, we never gain knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and purity in our mind. Please remember this. We never gain. Therefore, his teaching is known as Majjhima Patipada, middle path. Middle path means not to go to either this extreme or that extreme. In simple language, lead a normal life. You can have worldly pleasure, but don't go to extreme. You can observe religious precepts and practices, and not necessary for you to suffer physically. Now this is called middle path. Then he started. There are 4 noble truths in this world that people have not yet realized at that time. Instead of trying to understand the truth or facts or reality in our life, people try to entertain their ideas or their craving or their selfishness without realizing the real nature of life. This is our weakness. We don't want to know the truth, because truth is not in our favor. That is why we don't like truth. So what we need is something as truth to entertain our selfishness and craving. Remember what I am telling you. Sometimes when we reveal the truth, you may say, not appealing to our mind. Why it is not appealing to your mind? You want something to cling, to enjoy your life. But when you reveal the truth, the nature of life is such, the nature of the world is such, then you say, that is very dull. What to do? That is the nature. So, the Buddha has introduced these 4 noble truths. Scholars, the 20th century, especially in the West, who have done a lot of experiments, comparative studies, mentioned that the way how the Buddha has introduced these 4 noble truths, we cannot find in any other religion, either after or before the Buddha. But most of them were not Buddhist. They are scholars, unbiased. Now what are these 4? Words are familiar, but we never analyze, never contemplate, never try to understand. But we know the meanings of the words. Therefore you can say, yes, you also know these 4. You can repeat, but no realization. Only 4 words: dukkha, samudaya, nirodha, magga. 4. Since the Buddha started with dukkha, means unsatisfactoriness. Some scholars try to condemn the Buddha's attitudes and criticized, saying the Buddha is a pessimistic teacher. He talked ill of our life. These are the remarks that some people have made. The Buddha did not stop simply saying that in life we can see a lot of suffering. Then he continued. Then he revealed and pointed out, if you don't like to suffer like this, then there is a method for you to practice. If you follow this method, then you will be free from all those things, unpleasant, unhappy things that you complain. Therefore, how can people say the Buddha is a pessimistic teacher? When you discuss with others, what do they talk? Always they say something to express their problems and difficulties and worries and unhappiness in life. They talk either about their sickness, old age, family problem, husband's problem, wives or children's problem, or neighbors, or the country, or the government, if not the weather. When we talk with others, you can hear 95% and they experience some sort of unhappiness. They talk about medicines, talk about charm, talk about blessing. Why do they need blessing? For what purpose? Because they are not happy with their life, they need blessing. There are many others who never think of blessing. When we are in trouble, when we suffer, when we have fear, we need blessing, blessing, blessing. That is called religion. So religion is the only source that we can console those people who grumble, who suffer, who maintain fear. There is no any other method. They have everything, more than enough money and property, but no security feeling, no happiness. They need blessing. What the Buddha said is true. Dukkhe loko patittito. Again he says the world is situated or established in dukkha. In simple language, we are sitting on a time bomb. Any moment explosion can take place. There are so many sources. Earthquake, fire, flood. If not, the time bomb here in our mind, explosion all over the world, individual time bomb, burst, then disaster, then go on massacring people, slaughtering people, burning, shooting, everywhere. It makes no difference whether they are Buddhist countries or Christian countries or Muslims or Hindu countries, all are human beings. No difference. All those religions are labeled. They use for their benefit, but not to to shape up or cultivate their way of life. We can see how people in Buddhist countries, how in Hindu society in India and Muslim countries, Christian countries, how they slaughter each other. Then where is religion? Only for the name's sake. Therefore we cannot say that particular religion is good or the other one is bad. All are equal. All are corrupted equally. We cannot glorify Buddhists are better than others when you study their way of life. What have you got to prove? This is the nature of human mind. Then, next one he introduced as truth, samudaya. Now we admit, we know that we are not happy with this life. There is no question about it. Then what is the cause? What is the reason? Why should we suffer? Of course, some religions introduce cock and bull stories. We suffer because we had some original sin, but we are not ready to accept this kind of cock and bull stories. Because this suffering is common to every living beings, living things and plant. Animals also suffer just like us. Do you think those animals also carry the original sin? Do you think the plant life also carry original sin? Who committed this sin? This story they have created just to convert innocent people, only for that purpose. Here the Buddha has pointed out, why do we suffer? We cannot blame anybody in this world, either God or devil or ghost. This is the Buddhist attitude. Because other religions blame only devil. Devil created all these bad things in our mind, therefore we make mistake or stupidity. Then who created devil? For what purpose? Devil has nothing to do with us. We are the devils. Then what is the cause? The main cause is nothing but our own craving. But we are not ready to accept this. That is our weakness. We try to justify, we try to cover and hide. But the main cause of our craving, one day, if we can remove this craving completely from our mind, what will happen? From that day onward, fear, suspicion, anger, jealousy, discrimination never appear in our mind. So we maintain all those things because of our craving. Now then we can understand what the Buddha said is true. If you are not happy with this life, with this world, with others, some sort of craving is there. If you are worrying for something, craving is behind. If you have jealousy towards others, craving is behind. When you lose temper and fight with others, craving is behind. If you kill or disturb another person, craving is behind. When you discriminate others, either by showing superiority complex or inferiority feeling, craving is there. Now you can analyze, then you can understand what the Buddha said is true. We cannot blame another person. Then the third one. Third one is called Nirodha. Nirodha means freedom, liberation. Free from all these things that I mentioned just now. No physical pain, no mental pain, no physical burdens or mental burdens. Mind is completely free from all the mental impurities. If the mind is pure, we experience complete freedom, liberation, happiness in our life. That is called Nirvana. Nirvana is not a place for you to go and play football. This is the nature of Nirvana. You create this Nirvana by experiencing that happiness in your life. Third one. Last one is called Magga or Marga. Marga means path or the method. The method introduced by the Buddha for us to eradicate that craving and to experience that happiness. This method or this path is called middle path. So far we have gone up to the last item also without depending on any god or without blaming any devil or ghost, by realizing that we are solely responsible for all our problems and worries and trouble. So when we realize this, we can stop all our discrimination. We don't want to fight with others. We don't want to harbor jealousy or anger up there because we know for my suffering, I am responsible. If my mind is pure, others cannot disturb me. You can come and scold me, accuse me, curse me. If my mind is pure, you cannot disturb my mind. Because anger appears in our mind when another person come and scold us, because my mind is not pure. If the mind is pure, that anger cannot arise. We have to admit, but still we have these weaknesses. Then why do we want to blame others, accuse others for everything? Thinking these charms and black magic and devils and ghosts and always accuse somebody or something. Why not we think something is wrong with me? How many people are there who think that something is wrong with me? But we think something is wrong with you, not with me. This is the Buddha's way of teaching. So, the path or the method that we introduced was contradicting to the religious way of life in India at that time. There was a very strong opposition party who come against the Buddha when he revealed in this way, this is the path. Because so far they have introduced a path, means God. In the Buddha's method there is no place for him. So others could not agree with his teaching. Then again, animal sacrifices, rites and rituals and ceremonies and all sort of things introduced as the path to heaven or nirvana. In the Buddha's teaching, these things actually have no place. That is not the path. Again, those who torture their physical body, thinking that they can get rid of all the sins committed by them to go to heaven. The Buddha said, no, that is not the method. And now you can understand why people could not agree with the Buddha's teaching. But here in this very sutra, the Buddha says, Ananussutesu dhammesu. The dhamma that I am going to teach or preach is ananussuta, unheard earlier. Because ananussutesu dhammesu. The dhamma that I am going to teach or preach is ananussuta, unheard earlier. Because another religious teacher had never preached, never revealed this. Then in the end, having heard this sermon, human beings, earthbound devas, heavenly devas, celestial devas and brahmas, all those living beings started to appreciate what the Buddha said is true. This is the essence of this whole sutra. Nearly 8 to 10 pages. Well, there is no difficulty to remember the first sermon of the Buddha. Now about coming to 8:30, so we try to complete. Don't know how long it will take. Can you sit down like this? Evaṁ me sutaṁ ekhaṁ samayang bhagavā vāranasiyang viharati sipatane migadāye tatra ko bhagavā pañcavaggiye bhikkhu āmantesi Deme bhikkhave anta pabbajitena nasevitabbayo chayang Kamesu kamasu khallikānu yogo hino gammo potujjaniko anariyo Yo chayang atta kilamatanu yogo dukkho anariyo anatta sanghito Ete te bhikkhave ubho ante anupagamma majjhima patipada tathagatena Abhisambuddha chakku karani jnana karani upasamaya abhiññāya sambodhāya nibbānāya Katamāca sābhikkave majjhimā patipadā tathāgatena abhisambuddha chakku karani jnana karani Sambodhāya nibbānāya samvattati ayameva ariyo attangiko Seyati dang samma ditti samma sankappo samma vāca samma kammanto samma samma vāyamo samma sati samma Ayanko sābhikkave majjhimā patipadā tathāgatena abhisambuddhā chakku karani jnana karani Sambodhāya nibbānāya samvattati taṅkopana bhikkhave dukkhaṃ ariya sacchaṃ jātipi dukkha jarāpi Vyādipi dukkha maranampi dukkhaṃ appiyehi sampayogo dukkhopiyehi Dukkhaṃ idang kopan bhikkhave dukkha samudayang ariya saccang yayang tanha pono bhavika nandiraga suyati dang kama tanha bhava tanha vibhava tanha idang kopan bhikkhave dukkha nirodhang yo tassa eva tanhaya asesa viraga nirodho cago patinissaggo mutti idang kopana bhikkhave dukkha nirodha gamini patipadariya saccang ayameva ariyo attangiko seyati dang samma ditti samma sankappo samma vaca samma kammanto samma samma sati samma samadhi dang dukkhang ariya sacchanti me bhikkhave bubbhe Cakkung udapadi jnanang udapadi panya udapadi vijja udapadi aloko Tangko panidang dukkhang ariya saccang parinyayanti me bhikkhave pubbhe ananusutesu Cakkung udapadi jnanang udapadi panya udapadi vijja udapadi aloko Tangko panidang dukkhang ariya saccang parinyanti me bhikkhave pubbhe ananusutesu Cakkung udapadi jnanang udapadi panya udapadi vijja udapadi aloko idang dukkha samudayang ariya sacchanti me bhikkhave pubbhe ananusutesu dhammesu cakkung udapadi jnanang udapadi panya vijja udapadi aloko udapadi tangko panidang dukkha samudayang ariya saccang padabbanti me Dhammesu cakkung udapadi jnanang udapadi panya udapadi vijja udapadi aloko Tangko panidang dukkha samudayang ariya saccang pahinanti me bhikkhave pubbhe ananusutesu Cakkung udapadi jnanang udapadi panya udapadi vijja udapadi aloko idang dukkha nirodhang ariya sacchanti me bhikkhave pubbhe ananusutesu dhammesu cakkung udapadi jnanang udapadi panya udapadi vijja udapadi aloko udapadi tangko panidang dukkha nirodhang saccikādabbanti me bhikkhave pubbhe ananusutesu dhammesu cakkung udapadi jnanang udapadi panya aloko udapadi tangko panidang dukkha nirodhang ariya saccang saccikātanti me bhikkhave pubbhe cakkung udapadi jnanang udapadi panya udapadi vijja udapadi aloko idang dukkha nirodha gamini patipadariya sacchanti me bhikkhave pubbhe ananusutesu චක්ඛුං උදපාදි ඥානං උදපාදි පඤ්ඤා උදපාදි විඤ්ඤා උදපාදි ආලෝකෝ සංකෝ පනිදං දුක්ඛ නිරෝධගාමිනී පටිපදාරිය සත්‍යං භාවිතන්ති මේ භික්ඛවේ පුබ්බේ අන චක්ඛුං උදපාදි ඥානං උදපාදි පඤ්ඤා උදපාදි විඤ්ඤා උදපාදි ආලෝකෝ සංකෝ පනිදං දුක්ඛ නිරෝධගාමිනී පටිපදාරිය සත්‍යං භාවිතන්ති මේ භික්ඛවේ පුබ්බේ චක්ඛුං උදපාදි ඥානං උදපාදි පඤ්ඤා උදපාදි විඤ්ඤා උදපාදි ආලෝකෝ යාව කීවංච මේ භික්ඛවේ ඉමේසු චතුසු හරිය සත්‍යේසු එවං පරිවට්ටං දාදසාකාරං යථා භූතං ඥාන දස්සනං නේවතාවහං භික්ඛවේ සදේවකේ ලෝකේ සමාරකේ සබ්‍රහ්මකේ සත්තමනා මනුස්සාය අනුත්තරං සම්මා සම්බෝධින් අභිසම්බුද්ධෝ යතෝ චකෝ මේ භික්ඛවේ මේසු චතුසු හරිය සත්‍යේසු එවං පරිවට්ටං දාදසාකාරං අත්ථං භික්ඛවේ සදේවකේ ලෝකේ සමාරකේ සබ්‍රහ්මකේ සත්තමන බ්‍රාහ්මනියා සම්මා සම්බෝධින් අභිසම්බුද්ධෝ පච්චඤ්ඤා සිඥානං ච පනමේ දස්සනං අකුප්පාමේ චේතෝ විමුක්තිය මන්ති මාජාති නත්ති ධානි පුනක් ඉදම වෝච භගවාත්තමනා පංච වග්ගියා භික්ඛු භගවතෝ භාසිතං අභිනං ඉමස්මින් ච පනවෙය්‍යා කරණස්මින් භඤ්ඤමානේ ආයස්මතෝ කොණ්ඩඤ්ඤස්ස විරජං යං කිංචි සමුදය ධම්මං සබ්බන්තං නිරෝධ ධම්මං තේ පවත්ති තේච පන භගතා ධම්මචක්කේ සද්ද මනුස්සාවේසුං ඒතං භගවතා බාරාණසියං නිදිපතනේ මිගදායේ අනුත්තරං අප්පතිවත්තියං ගමනේන වා බ්‍රාහ්මණේන වා දේවේන වා මාරේන වා බ්‍රහ්මුණා වා කේන ජීවා බුම්මානං දේවානං සද්දං සුත්වා ජාතුම් මහරජිකා දේවා සද්ද ජාතුම් මහරජිකානං දේවානං සද්දං සුත්වා තාවතිං සා දේවා සද්ද මනුස්සාවේසුං තාවතිං ගානං දේවානං සද්දං සුත්වා යාමා දේවා සද්ද යාමා දේවානං සද්දං සුත්වා දේවා සද්ද මනුස්සාවේසුං තුසිතානං දේවානං සද්දං සුත්වා නිම්මාන රති දේවා නිම්මාන රතිනං දේවානං සද්දං සුත්වා පරනිම්මිත වසවත්තිනෝ දේවා සද්ද පරනිම්මිත Savattinang Devanang Saddang Sutta Brahma Parisajja Deva Brahma Parisajjanang Devanang Saddang Sutta Brahma Purohita Deva Brahma Purohitanang Devanang Saddang Sutta Mahabrahma Deva Saddha Mahabrahmanang Devanang Saddang Sutta Parittabha Deva Saddha Manussa Parittabhanang Devanang Saddang Sutta Appamanabha Deva Saddha Manussa Appamanabhanang Devanang Saddang Sutta Abhasara Deva Abhasaranang Devanang Saddang Sutta Paritta Subha Deva Saddha Manussa Paritta Subhanang Devanang Saddang Sutta Appamana Subha Deva Saddha Manussa Appamana Subhanang Devanang Saddang Sutta Subhakinnaka Deva Subhakinnakanang Devanang Saddang Sutta Vehappala Deva Saddha Vehappalanang Devanang Saddang Sutta Vihadeva Saddha Avihanang Devanang Saddang Sutta Tappa Deva Saddha Katappanang Devanang Saddang Sutta Sudassa Deva Saddha Manussa Sudassanang Devanang Saddang Sutta Sudassi Deva Saddha Sudassinang Devanang Saddang Sutta Kanittaka Deva Saddha Ketang Bhagata Varanasiyang Nisipatani Mikadaye Anuttarang Dhamma Cakkang Pavattitang Appativattiyang Brahmanena va Devena va Marena va Brahmana va Kenachiva Itiyatena Khanena Tena Muhuttena Saddo Abbukkanci Ayanta Dasagahasi Lokadhatu Sankampi Samba Kampi Sampa Appamano Cevularo Bhaso Loke Atikkamma Devanang Devanubhavang Atako Bhagava Udanang Udane Anyasivata Bhokondanyo Anyasivata Bhokondanyo Ti Iti hidang ayasmato kondanyasa anya kondanyo Namang avositi Itina satya ajjena sattite hotu sappada Itina satya hotu sappada Itina satya ajjena sattite hotu sappada Just now, you paid attention to the chanting of the Dhammacakka Sutra. So in my brief introduction to this sutra, I have mentioned the method the Buddha has introduced for us to practice is called middle path. But I did not explain item by item. That one also, in brief, I can introduce. If we can lead a respectable, noble, and harmless life without committing a mistake or disturbances by using our physical body, by using our words, and by using our mind. Eight noble paths summarized into Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Sila, or the precept. Keep away, abstain from all the bad deeds that we commit by using our physical body and the words and the mind. Samadhi, try to maintain, develop more and more kindness and compassion and patience and many other good mental attitudes, not to create bad atmosphere and not to pollute our own mind. Panya, realizations, understanding, wisdom and enlightenment. In the end, we gain this. But without leading a noble life, simply by praying or offerings or worshipping, we never gain this. That is what the Buddha says. So the middle path means by leading a respectable, noble, harmless life, we cultivate ourselves, we train our mind, we purify our mind. In the end, we gain complete purity and enlightenment. After that, final goal, the aim of our life, which is called Nirvana. And this invitation, every year, you perform this traditional religious practice, started in India, but in certain Buddhist countries, they never observe this. They think it is not very important, especially in Mahayana and Vajrayana, like China, Tibet, Korea, Mongolia, Japan. I don't think they observe this because this is not the rainy season today. And Sri Lanka, Burma, Thailand, they are very particular. Still they maintain this traditional practice. Whether rain comes or not, they observe this. But during this period, it is our duty to pay more attention toward a religious way of life. That is very important. You have seen when Muslims observe Upasa, during that period they are very religious minded. They go on chanting and praying and worshipping and abstaining from many things during that period. Christians also have certain retreat period. They too try to cultivate their way of life. Hindus have certain other method. Buddhists, only monks observe this. And some devotees come full moon and new moon days. Today I think only 4 or 5. But others have no idea what to do. You must try your best to concentrate more on religious way of life. It does not mean that you have to forget your work, your house and your property and wife and children. You have to maintain all those things as usual. But try, when the time permits for you to come and attend. Now from tomorrow onward there will be chanting. Start about 8 up to 9, 1 hour. So when you come and attend this, it will become a meditation. Then you learn. You can gain more devotions and confidence and understanding. If not Sunday morning, try to come and attend this blessing service and various other religious activities. Then full moon and new moon days, at least without breaking, try to attend every full moon and every new moon day, if possible every Sunday morning. Then you also can satisfy that you have concentrated more on religious way of life. So although we accepted your invitation to stay here for 3 months, that there is no guarantee, halfway some of them may drop, and may disappear. In my case, of course, nowhere for me to go. I'll stay for 3 months. That I can guarantee you. Okay. Dharma sevane kirimen adam panra puja kirimen laban lad kusalani sans dharmyan hetu kutaganimitan pratanyan dakna jati dakwa narakadiyu satra payotpatti dukkha ekatana pamina දිව්‍ය ලෝක සම්පත් මනුෂ්‍ය ලෝක සම්පත් ලැබීමෙන් අවසානයේ යමාමහ නිවන් සම්පත් ලැබීමට හේතු වාසනා වේවයි සිතා පින් අනුමෝදන් වේ යුතුය